So it seems like a lot of people are talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, a game that's supposed to be coming out on October 11th, this upcoming Friday. And honestly, it has the potential to be like the best fighting game of 2024, if not the best video game of 2024 altogether. It's a game that's going to be utilizing the Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be developed by Spike Churnsoft, and it's something that's going to be published by Bandai Namco. And it's supposed to be released for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and PC. Um, and I think it's perfectly reasonable that it's not going to be on the PS4 because the PS4 is way too old, and it's obviously not going to be on the Switch console because um, it would look like garbage graphically on the Switch. And Nintendo's about to introduce their next major gaming console in 2025. But but yeah, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a game that has potential to break sales records. And you look at some of the last major DBZ games that has come out within the past couple of years or so. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That was a game that did over 8 million copies in terms of sales. And I think that was a game that came out back in 2020. So that was like right before COVID. It did pretty well, but not quite as good as Fighters or Xenoverse 2, because I think Fighters did like 10 million copies in terms of sales. And I think Xenoverse 2 also did 10 million copies in terms of sales, which shows that the Dragon Ball Z franchise is still very popular, especially within the realm of gaming. And honestly, like everything about Sparking Zero looks impressive, from the aesthetics to the graphics, the gameplay, to the environments and dialogue, and like the animation and cutscenes. Seems like Sparking Zero is something that a lot of reviewers and gaming journalists and critics have been impressed by thus far. And it's a game that people can pre-order like right now before it comes out. And there's like different versions of Sparking Zero you can get. You can get the standard edition, which is just the base game. You can get the deluxe edition, which includes the season pass DLC 1 through 3, and I believe that that's also with the ultimate edition as well. You get the season pass DLC 1 through 3, and that's and those two like editions allow you to play like 3 days early. And if you get the ultimate edition, you get more stuff. You get two player card backgrounds. You get like Goku from Dragon Ball Super. You get his costume and his power pole. If you get the premium edition, you can get like a steel book, a metallic bookmark, exclusive cards, the whole 9 yards. And I feel like this is something that has the potential to be one of the best selling games that we've seen in quite some time. Because if you look at, gaming in general, it seems like a lot of high profile video games have not been selling as much as they should. And that's especially true for this year because I don't think, Tekken 8 really sold nearly as much as a lot of people thought it would. You look at Street Fighter 6, which came out in 2023, that didn't sell nearly as much as Capcom thought it would. And, it seems like a lot of high profile games just have trouble like breaking over 3 million in sales nowadays. At least that's been a trend throughout most of 2024. And I do feel like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a game that can at least, sell more than Dragon Ball Z Kakarot did. But obviously, it's going to take some time. And, I do feel that if it's popular enough, it could eventually get ported to the Switch too a little bit later down the line. But right now it's going to be on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and Steam. And I can imagine like more people like playing it on Steam than like the PlayStation 5 or something, because even though the cost for the base PlayStation 5 has gone down. The PlayStation 5 Pro is, the price for that is ridiculous, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be skeptical on, purchasing that, knowing the fact that you would have to pay for the disk drive and all that stuff, and nobody wants to deal with that. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of diehard Dragon Ball Z fans who would spend like 59.99 or more money to buy this game when it comes out, or to pay extra, you know, to play it, 3 days before it comes out, because this game is technically Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4, a game that people have been wanting to see since the 2000s. So there are like many years in the making for this game. It's something that we never thought we were going to get, and we actually thought we were going to get a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 opposed to this. But I feel like this is something that I feel like this would actually be better than a Xenoverse 3, to be quite honest. Because as much as we love the Xenoverse series, I still feel like Bandai Namco could still make money off of Xenoverse 2, and they are doing so with DLC and all that stuff. But I feel like, the past like decade or so has been probably one of the best that we've seen for the Dragon Ball Z franchise in relation to gaming, because the games are selling like crazy, and it seems like the series is more relevant than it's ever been. And even though like the original anime is not quite on the same level as popularity as it was during the late 90s, early 2000s, I still feel like the Dragon Ball Z series was so big back then, to a point where it seems like that there have been a variety of animes that came after it that hasn't been able to touch um this particular anime in terms of like popularity or mainstream appeal or anything like that, for the most part. And that's actually a really good thing. The fact that Dragon Ball Z is something that still appeals to casuals is nothing short of amazing. And I do feel that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is definitely going to be a game that's going to appeal to casuals more so than, I guess, other high profile fighting video games, because it seems like Mortal Kombat 1, a game that came out around, I'd say, like third quarter of 2023, didn't sell nearly as much as it should have. And I believe Warner Brothers is still adding DLC to make people care about it and all that. But but it seems like a lot of like fighting games have trouble passing the 3 million mark in terms of sales, and I'm confident that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero can definitely do that. And I don't know. I guess I have high expectations myself for this game, but yeah, this game has to at least sell more than Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And if it sells more than Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Xenoverse, or Dragon Ball Fighters, then that's something that would be a big deal. And I do feel that, like, at that point, Bandai Namco would have to make a direct sequel to Sparking Zero, because I feel like the Budokai Tenkaichi series, it should not have been, I guess, discontinued when it was back in the day. It should have continued throughout the teens decade. But if that were the case, we wouldn't have gotten Xenoverse 1 and 2. So it is what it is. I have high hopes for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and hopefully we'll get a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 a little bit later down the line.